Logan Paul is 31 years old. He has a $150 million net worth. He is a WWE champion, a podcast host, a beverage company co-founder, and one of the most financially successful creators in the history of the internet. He is also the guy who filmed a dead body in a Japanese forest, promoted a cryptocurrency project that lost his own fans over $1 million, and has been canceled so many times that cancellation itself stopped working on him. The story of how Logan Paul actually makes his money is not just a business breakdown. It is a masterclass in using controversy as fuel, pivoting faster than anyone can keep up with, and building a financial empire that gets stronger every time someone tries to tear it down. Let's start from the very beginning. Logan Alexander Paul was born on April 1, 1995 in Westlake, Ohio. The April Fool's birthday feels almost too on the nose in retrospect. He was an athlete growing up, a wrestling state qualifier in high school, which matters later. He discovered Vine in 2013 when he was 18 years old and immediately understood something that most people his age did not. 6 seconds was not a limitation. It was an opportunity. If you could make someone laugh or react in 6 seconds, you had already won. He posted constantly. He studied what worked. He grew to millions of followers on Vine before most people his age had finished their first year of college. When Vine died in 2016, Logan moved to YouTube and brought his entire audience with him. The transition was seamless because the skill set was identical: short, high-energy, visually driven content that rewarded the platform's most important currency, watch time. He went from zero to millions of subscribers in months. By 2017, he was one of the fastest-growing channels on the platform, posting daily vlogs that pulled his audience directly into his life in a way that felt more like a friendship than entertainment. Forbes ranked him among the highest-paid YouTube creators in 2017 and 2018. His annual YouTube earnings at peak were estimated between $12 and $14 million, ad revenue, sponsored content, and merchandise combined. He was 22 years old, making $14 million a year, filming himself and his friends in Los Angeles. And then January 2018 happened, and everything nearly ended. He traveled to Japan and filmed a vlog in Aokigahara, a forest at the base of Mount Fuji known as a site where people go to end their lives. In the video, he and his friends encountered a recently deceased person. He filmed it. He uploaded it. The video got 6 million views before he deleted it. The reaction was unlike anything YouTube had seen. Not controversy, not backlash, genuine international revulsion. YouTube suspended his ad revenue. Sponsors dropped him. His Google preferred advertising status was removed. His second YouTube Red series was canceled. He issued an apology that was itself widely criticized for being more about him than about anyone he had hurt. Most creators do not survive something like that. Logan Paul not only survived it, he used it. Not cynically, or at least not entirely cynically. He genuinely changed what he was making. He leaned into boxing, which gave him a structured competitive discipline that his content had never had before. He fought KSI twice, an exhibition match in Manchester in 2018 that drew 21,000 people to the arena and 800,000 pay-per-view buys, and a rematch in Los Angeles in 2019. He fought Floyd Mayweather in an exhibition in June 2021 that generated an estimated $50 million in pay-per-view revenue. His personal purse from the Mayweather fight was reported at between $5 and $20 million depending on the source. He was not a world-class boxer. He was a large athletic man with a massive audience, and that combination was worth an enormous amount of money in exhibition boxing, where the entertainment value matters more than the competitive result. The boxing era also did something strategically important that people underestimate. It introduced Logan Paul to an entirely different audience. Boxing fans are older, more diverse, more international than YouTube fans. The Mayweather fight aired on Showtime. It was covered by mainstream sports media. People who had never heard of Logan Paul watched him go 8 rounds with one of the greatest defensive boxers of all time without being stopped. That reputational moment, he survived Mayweather, whatever you think about the exhibition format, gave him credibility in rooms his YouTube career had never opened. Then in June 2022, he launched Prime Hydration with KSI. Let's talk about Prime because it is the most dramatic single business story in the creator economy, and nobody tells it properly. Prime was built on a simple foundation. Two of the most subscribed YouTubers in the world who had publicly fought each other twice and whose combined fan base stretched across every continent were going to make a sports drink. No advertising budget needed, no celebrity endorsement needed, no traditional marketing at all. They were the marketing. Every video, every appearance, every piece of content they made was an advertisement for a product their audience already trusted before it existed because they trusted the people selling it. The early results were extraordinary. Prime launched in January 2022 and sold out everywhere within hours. Supermarkets in the UK were reporting scenes that looked like Black Friday people queuing before opening time. Shelves emptied in minutes. Secondary market listings at 10 times retail price. An American sports drink brand became the most talked about product in British supermarkets in 2022, primarily because KSI told his UK audience to buy it. Logan told his American audience. Together, they created a demand that the supply chain literally could not keep up with. Prime generated $250 million in revenue in its first year. In 2023, it crossed $1.3 billion in annual revenue, making it one of the fastest consumer brands to reach that threshold in history. The valuation at peak was estimated between $3 and $8 billion. Logan owns approximately 20% of the company. At peak valuation, that stake was worth somewhere between $600 million and $1.6 billion on paper. Then Prime started declining. Sales cooled significantly in 2024 and 2025 after scrutiny over caffeine levels in the energy drink version, which critics argued was marketed to young people while containing caffeine levels inappropriate for children. Regulatory pressure followed in multiple countries. Revenue dropped an estimated 76% from its 2023 peak, settling at around $300 million projected for 2025. The valuation dropped accordingly. Logan's stake is worth significantly less than it was at peak. The brand is currently undergoing a strategic review, the corporate term for figuring out what comes next after the initial hype cycle ends. The Prime story is still unwritten. If the brand stabilizes into a sustainable $300 to $400 million consumer product with normal margins and a loyal repeat customer base, it remains a genuinely valuable business. If the decline continues, it becomes the story of a billion-dollar brand that burned too bright too fast. Either way, Logan made an extraordinary amount of money on the ride up, and the question of whether he can preserve it on the way down is the most interesting financial story in his empire right now. Let's talk about WWE, because it is the income stream nobody expected, and the one that has probably done the most for his long-term brand equity. Logan Paul signed a multi-year deal with WWE in 2023. His contract includes a base salary plus pay-per-view bonuses, with total estimated earnings across the contract period of between $22 and $24 million. He defeated The Miz at SummerSlam 2022 in his debut match. He fought Roman Reigns at Crown Jewel 2022 and Seth Rollins at WrestleMania 39 in performances that received genuine praise from professional wrestling critics who had expected a celebrity joke act and got someone who had clearly trained seriously. He entered the Royal Rumble in 2025, eliminating CM Punk among others. He won a War Games match at Survivor Series 2025. The WWE deal is not just about the direct earnings. WWE broadcasts globally to 180 countries. A significant portion of that audience has never been on YouTube. They do not follow creators. They watch wrestling. And for the last 3 years, Logan Paul has been in their living rooms on a semi-regular basis performing at the highest level of sports entertainment. The audience that knows him only as a WWE superstar is now larger than the audience that knows him only as a YouTuber. The cross-pollination of those two audiences is one of the most effective audience expansion strategies any creator has executed in the last decade. The Impulsive podcast has run since 2018 and generates 7 figures annually in sponsorship revenue. With 4 million subscribers on YouTube and consistent top 10 placements on the podcast charts, it has outlasted most creator podcasts and became a standalone business rather than just a content extension. His annual earnings across all platform content, YouTube ad revenue, podcast sponsorships, social media brand deals, are estimated at between $3 and $5 million annually in 2026, significantly down from his peak daily vlogging era, but sustained by his continued high profile across multiple industries. Maverick Apparel, the clothing brand he launched in 2017, generated over $40 million in sales in its first 9 months. It has faded from peak relevance as Prime consumed his commercial focus, but it remains a contributing revenue stream and a direct monetization of his personal brand identity. Lunchly, the prepackaged meal brand he co-launched with KSI and MrBeast, brought the combined audiences of 3 of the most subscribed creators on the platform together around a product targeted at children. The strategic logic is the same as Prime combined subscriber bases that dwarf the marketing budgets of most food companies. The brand has had its own controversies around nutritional content and marketing to children, and it remains a work in progress as a business. Now we have to talk about CryptoZoo because no honest accounting of Logan Paul's financial story is complete without it. In October 2021, Logan Paul announced CryptoZoo, a plate-worn cryptocurrency game where players could buy digital animal NFTs, breed them, and earn real money from the resulting hybrid creatures. It was launched at the peak of the NFT bubble. Fans poured over $1.5 million into the project buying tokens and NFTs based on Logan's promotion of it. The game never fully launched. The promised mechanics never materialized. The token value collapsed. People who had invested based on his promotion were left with digital assets worth essentially nothing. YouTuber and financial journalist CoffeeZilla published a 3-part investigation in late 2022 documenting the project's failures in detail, alleging that Logan had promoted a project he knew was troubled without disclosing that knowledge to his audience. Logan initially threatened legal action against CoffeeZilla, then pivoted to promising refunds, then conditioned some refunds on victims signing non-disclosure agreements, which generated further outrage. A class action lawsuit was filed in 2023 alleging fraud. In October 2025, a Texas judge dismissed all 27 claims in the lawsuit, ruling in Logan's favor. He has described the dismissal as total vindication. The people who lost money have largely not been made whole. The refund process as of 2026 remains incomplete, caught in disputes about which investors qualify and how token values should be calculated. The court ruling cleared Logan legally. It did not resolve the underlying reality that his audience invested money based on his promotion of a product that failed to deliver what was promised. The CryptoZoo controversy damaged his credibility with a segment of his audience and generated significant coverage that will follow him permanently. It did not stop his business partners from working with him. WWE kept him. Prime kept growing through it. Brand partners maintained relationships. In the same way the Japan Forest video nearly destroyed him and then did not, CryptoZoo bent his reputation without breaking his business. He has now been through enough public disasters that each new one carries diminishing reputational weight. His audience has priced in the risk of controversy. They are still there. Logan Paul moved his primary residence to Puerto Rico in 2024 to take advantage of Act 60, a Puerto Rican tax incentive program that offers substantial federal tax reductions for bona fide island residents. For someone generating over $20 million a year in income, the tax savings are significant, potentially millions of dollars annually. He owns a $6.6 million mansion in Puerto Rico and splits his time between the island and training facilities on the mainland for WWE commitments. As of 2026, he holds approximately $30 million in cash, owns no traditional stock market investments, and concentrates his wealth in businesses he controls or co-controls. That philosophy, betting on yourself rather than the market, has worked extraordinarily well for him so far. Whether it continues to work depends heavily on whether Prime Hydration stabilizes, whether his WWE contract leads to a renewal, and whether the next business he builds has the same cultural timing as Prime did in 2022. Logan Paul started making 6-second videos in his bedroom at 18. He is 31 now. He has been canceled twice, sued multiple times, dropped by platforms and sponsors, and predicted to be finished more times than almost anyone in the history of internet fame. And in 2026, he is a WWE champion, a $150 million net worth, and one of the most recognizable faces in global sports entertainment. The people who wrote him off after the Forest video are still writing him off, and he is still proving them wrong. That is how Logan Paul actually makes his money, not by being liked, by being impossible to ignore.